Hi guys, Love Me here, and I want to welcome you all back to my channel. I want to thank you all for joining me for another personal pause where I talk about whatever I want to talk about. Um, this week's personal pause will be about excess. I was out at the store the other day, and I was just looking at all of the things that were out, and not just things that were out, but things that multiple of one item. And I'm looking at it and I'm just thinking, you know, all of these boxes of crayons, all of these, I guess I'm going to say school supplies because that's what I was seeing. All of these glue glue sticks and colored pencils and crayon boxes and things like that. It's multiples of those things. And I'm thinking, these things aren't going to all be bought. We all know that. So what happens to the excess, the stuff that wasn't bought? What happens to those things? Do they go in the landfills? Do they become recycled and turned into something else? What happens? And it really made me think again about the journey we've been on in our house of minimalism. And when I thought about minimalism, for me, it is I feel it's a biblical principle about, taking care of what you have, learning to live on less, and not being greedy. And when I see the excess of items, it's real easy. It is real easy to say, I want multiples of these things when you don't need it. It can be real easy to look at these things and get greedy. And like, I want that, I want this. I'm definitely guilty of it. Even though I am on the path to decrease, to live with what we have, to try to live a more sustainable life, I am still subject to the I want. And like I said, I was just looking at these things, and I felt so sad because I'm thinking to myself, and I know you guys are probably, I'm looking up a lot. And sometimes I do that when I'm trying to stay on track. And I really just want this video to be casual, sidebar. I just want it to be casual. I don't want it to be all stiff. I want my personal pauses to be relaxed and as if I'm talking to you in person. So my mannerisms are going to be that as if I'm talking to you in person. But it saddened me to see all this excess of materials and to think about where these things go when they haven't been purchased. Like I said, will they end up in a landfill? Will they be recycled or whatnot? And I think about our country as a whole, and there's certain times of the year where I really think about the excess of things. One is back to school, because back to school sales, it's become like a holiday within itself. Um, the holiday seasons, the packaged cupcakes and the packaged cookies and the pies and the that type of stuff. The Easter baskets in excess and the trick or treating stuff, the candy, all of that in excess, and it's just like, this is such a waste, in my opinion. Such a waste to see all of these things be manufactured and not even, I don't even know if half of that stuff, gets sold. Um, I've watched dumpster divers here on YouTube, and there's this one channel in particular that I've been checking out, and I can't think of their name. Um, but they recently did a haul, and they were at Party City. They were at Party City, and they pulled out a big box of candy from Party City's um, dumpster. And I just looked at that and I'm like, that's so sad. They've come across soap that has not been used, like still in the plastic packaging. And I'm just thinking, these things people need. Like, this is stuff that could be sent over to countries that are in devastation. Soaps, toiletries and stuff like that. Um, I've watched videos, documentaries on, let me make sure I say this clearly so it doesn't sound weird, freeganism, where people basically live off of what they find, dumpster diving, free, things that they find free. And some of it, they come across things that's nice. There have been people that have cooked meals off of things they found in dumpster diving. Now, I'm not saying I'm for that. If it's packaged and it's, still fresh, okay, I get it. But it just really made me just think about, what is the landfills? What is this country going to look like in the next 15, 20 years? Just so much excess. I recently was decluttering my youngest child's room, and I told him, I had been telling him, mommy's going to go in your room and get rid of some stuff. And I let him be a part of the process. He's 7 years old, so he's old enough to be a part of the process. And then there's sometimes where, he can't be a part of the process. But I let him choose some things that he wanted to keep. And he wanted to keep everything. And I said, we can't. Some of these things that is in this room you have not played with in a while. In a long time, you have not shown interest. You've outgrown it. It needs to go. It can go. Some of the stuff that can be donated, it can go to somebody else that, hopefully needs it. And I talked to him about, again, being a good steward of what we have, not accumulating too much, and just having a heart to heart with him about living on less, but in a way that he can understand, and not also appreciating what you have, taking care of what you have, and when it's time to get something new, something that you already have needs to go. And so I've really been trying to stick to my guns about that. If we bring in something new, something that we don't need anymore, it has to go. And we did a good job. Now, I still need to do the bottom part of his closet, but he was very helpful in the process. But that is what my husband and I want. We've been talking about it for, a while, and we are at the place to where we are actually making this thing a reality, where we are trying to live on less, and we still got a lot more to go. But I just, like I said in my organization video, I don't want to be a slave to things. And like I said, it could be very easy to get caught up in the I want. I was at the Dollar Tree and they had some cute planner, sticker stuff. Not just planner stuff, but things to craft with. And I'm thinking to myself, I got stuff downstairs that I need to start using. That's not to say that I shouldn't get something here or there, but I'm like, I don't need all of this. There was just some cute stuff at the Dollar Tree, and I was just like, oh my goodness. And I'm like, nope, you don't need it. Use what you have. Try to deplete what you already have. And I just want to encourage anybody that's watching this video to encourage you to be a smart consumer, to be an educated consumer. Um, Try not to get caught up in the rat race of accumulating stuff, because when it comes time to clean that stuff, you get frustrated, you get aggravated, you looking around, you're like, how did all of this stuff get here? I know that's happened with me. Um, I'm looking around, we're trying to clean, and I'm like, where did all of this stuff come from? Me. Going thrift stores, going to um, yard sales. And it was really, for me, it was really bad early on homeschooling when the little one was just in kindergarten. Because I'm like, I need these things, I need these things. And for the most part, I tried to use mostly, what I had. And I tried to, again, be a good steward. But I'm like, I only have one child that is using these things as far as homeschool educational materials. And it really made me rethink what we needed, how he learns. And he's a very hands-on learner. My youngest one, he's a hands-on learner. So tailoring things for that. I like to get books that have multiple grades in them for us. So something that's K through first, or something that's K through third, um, and work that. My youngest son, trying to have him clean up his room, we tried to have a routine, but because he had so much stuff, it was hard. We tried the toy swapping out. Okay, pick how many cars you want, how many animals you want, how many of a certain thing you want. Okay, it's going to stay in this in your toy. I call it a toy tower. He has this rolling toy thing, and it has like six bins, I believe, and whatever was in that, that's what he could play with. But I would tell him, don't take anything out the closet. When it's time for us to rotate, then you can go in there and do that. He's a kid. He would go in the closet, grab things, wouldn't put it back. And who's getting frustrated? I'm getting frustrated. It wasn't easy for him to clean up. But I'm like, you know what? This isn't fair. So decluttering, I started moving things downstairs in the basement, and getting our basement more clear. That way, if he wants to play down in the basement, he can. And the stuff that's in the basement stays in the basement. If he does bring something up from the basement, it's in a container. When he's done, it needs to go back downstairs. Um, when we did this recent declutter, he wanted his bed to be turned a certain way. He's happy with the toys he has. And it was hard. I think the biggest thing was the animals, because he loves animals. And I did get rid of some of the little teeny tiny ones, or some that, was messed up. I did just toss those. But like he has like, for example, he has giraffes. So he has a big giraffe, then he has like a medium sized giraffe, and then he has a little baby giraffe. Same with the elephants. So there's some animals where there's multiples of those, and honestly, guys, I couldn't get rid of those because um I'm looking at the time. I wanted to keep this under 15 minutes, but it might be pushed to 20. But anyway, um so with those type of animals, I'm like, I just can't get rid of those, because the way he plays, he likes to have imaginary play where he has a herd of elephants, or a herd of giraffes, where it's a mommy, a daddy, and a baby. So, but they're all contained in this one bin. So I'm like, okay, this works. He's been in the Hot Wheels cars a lot, and as I was going through some cars, I'm like, some of these have to go. we end up keeping. He has 15 Hot Wheels, and I'm like, okay, you know what? That's it. If he wants any more, we're gonna have to get rid of some. But right now, that's manageable. And he builds his little Hot Wheels track, and he'll race them and stuff like that. But he really liked how his room was. He liked the space. He liked the order. And because he doesn't have toys in his closet anymore, basically it's just books that we need to re-go through again, and some like shoes that he's probably outgrown. That's at the bottom floor, on the bottom floor of his closet. But he's not tempted to go in the closet and bring out toys because there's no toys in there. There's a couple of like board games, but as far as toys, there's no toys in there. So anyway, he was just so happy, and he was just like, I can keep this up, mommy. He said, I'm going to do my best to take care of my things and keep it up. And I said, I believe you can. I know you can. So just that relief on him. And when we were decluttering, I even told him, I said, it's not fair to you for me to try to have you clean up this room, and it's just excess of stuff. And I didn't say excess to him, but for the purpose of the video, because I'm talking about excess, I'm saying excess to you guys. And I said, mommy has brought in all of these toys. And it's not fair for me to try to tell you to keep these things, keep your room clean, when you got toys in your closet. You got all of this stuff, that little pieces of things. Prime example, like Happy Meal stuff. He doesn't get Happy Meals a lot. But when he does, you guys know, they go those little plastic cheap toys. Some of them break within a day. So now my train of thought is, okay, if he gets one, and it falls back on me to be, the person to fall through with this, me and my husband, but try to, maybe I need to mark it on my calendar. He can keep that thing for a week, and then it's gone. Because that's what happened. Like, those little things add up. And then you're looking around, you're like, I got all these little broken Happy Meal toys, and they only honestly play with it for a week, and then it gets mixed up in the stash. So, like I said, I've just been very mindful and just watching the excess of just items that I've seen, and it's kind of helping me keep in check that I want versus the I need. And it's, like I said, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. Um, when we go to the store, it could be the Dollar Tree. My son, he always wants to go look at the toys, and I want this, I want this, I want this. And I just feel like, okay, you want it, but I let him know with no shame, you're not getting nothing. You're not getting nothing. Um, and I try to lovingly remind him of what he has at home. And if you do want something, again, he's old enough to where he can earn certain things, but something has to leave. So that's basically that, guys. Um, Thank you all for hanging out with me for this personal pause. If you are new to my channel, please check out other videos. I think I got a mix of things now. I still got my old homeschool stuff. I got some crafting stuff. I recently did some organization stuff. I'm probably going to do some more of that. These personal pauses. So, I'm just trying to have a mix of things and just be about life. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers for joining my channel, and I want to say thank you to all my old subscribers. And like I said before, if you have any topics that you want me to discuss in my personal pause videos, please leave a comment down below. And I have been enjoying the comments of those of you that have commented on my personal pause videos. I like hearing your stories and just seeing your point of view. So please, leave a comment, discuss, share what you thought, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.